Well, evening, y'all. It's Brian SLC Farms. Well, it's my favorite time of the day. It's about 10 o'clock at evening. One of my favorite times to go out and mow hay. We just finished up all the first cutting hay yesterday. We're done with that. It's about the middle of June here, and we're going to jump right into second cut. All the stuff that we mowed in April is ready to go. So I'm probably going to go lay down, I don't know, 30 acres or so. I just got done swapping all the blades over. Just flipped most of them, had a few I had to change. On the windrower here, got it greased up. It's actually, this thing doesn't have quick change blades or anything, but you just flip that curtain back there, 18 millimeter bolt, flip them over. So we're good to go now. We're gonna skirt just right beside the house and then right up the street here just a little bit, go cut some hay. We'll see what kind of footage this makes, but I thought I'd try to film it, so here we go. All right, y'all, we've made it to the first field here. I'm not quite sure, I'll probably try to stick y'all outside on the mower here and then bring y'all back in a minute. Not sure how long this video is going to be. I'm probably going to try to cut like 20 acres tonight. This is about 9.5 or so, 9, something like that. Well, it might be 8. But let me figure out where to put y'all, and then we'll go from there. All right, so we got y'all out on the deck. We will see how that works. How clear of a picture it's going to be. All right, and we're off like a herd of turtles. Hopefully won't too many bugs hop on with y'all. I'll fill y'all in with a little secret. Got started at like 9:20 tonight. It is now 10:24, and I have already cut the first 10 acres, but I didn't even pull the camera out. I mowed it real fast. I didn't want to bother any neighbors, so I didn't want to take any time to film. Now this field here is right beside my house. There's not really anybody I'm going to bother. So I enjoy mowing at night for a few reasons. It's cooler. Usually I don't see as much wildlife in the fields like deer and whatnot because they're out moving, looking forage this time of evening. I've hit more Bambies during the daytime mowing than I've ever, I don't know that I've ever hit any at night. Now I've hit some turkeys in the early spring when they're sitting on their nests, but deer wise, they tend to be out and buzzing around. We have still got to get over here and get this tree up. Oh. Not good for the new blades. Oh. I've got to get the batwing mower going. I've got one part I've got left to put on our cheap bush hog, and it will be ready for the field. And we're going to go around and knock back some field edges that are growing out on me. And then we got to start taking care of some tree limbs this fall that are cropping out way too far in the fields. One way or another, we got to figure that out. These outer couple rounds always take the longest because I try to take my time. Yeah, I know I smack a few limbs and whatnot, but I like to get as close as I can, and most of the tree limbs right now are pretty soft, but like all these low-hanging limbs right here, we got to get rid of these. They have gotten really bad this year compared to last year. A lot of tree growth. Got to figure out a way to take care of that. It's probably going to be the old-fashioned chainsaw, pole saw, and skid steer. Unless I would love to like rent a mulcher on a Mini X. I don't know if you can rent those or not. I know you can rent a Mini X. I'm not sure if you can rent a Mini X with a mulcher. But that would probably be the best route to go for what I'm wanting done for the majority of the limbs. There's our corn patch in front of us, starting to tassel out. This is the one that's gotten just flat out roasted by deer. Let's see here, I want to try to get a little bit more of that edge right there, get it off of this corn. Alright. About cutting at night. So the windows on this thing want to fog up something fierce. So this should be, again, just like the hay that we cut off in early spring. This should be some primo hay. Nice second cut, no weeds. It ought to be some top quality stuff. Some of this brown you see is just some leftover ryegrass that tried to come back on us. Of y'all hear me bouncing around. I was talking to a buddy of mine, and he had told me that I could buy me a rebuild seat for this Grammer seat for all the bushings and whatnot. And I really think that's what it needs, the way it shakes around on me. I think a good rebuild to it would really help. Alright, as soon as we get done with this next pass, I'm going to pull y'all in the cab with me for a minute. Again, had a few longer videos. I try to mix it up. I myself like a good 30 to 50 minute video. I watch it as a television show these days. Some folks like about a 10 to 15 minute video. It doesn't really matter. I have found also if the video runs a little slow for you, go in that upper right hand corner to the settings, go to your playback speed, do playback speed times 2, and that'll make a 30-minute video 15 minutes. It'll speed it up. Now, like on my iPhone or iPad, I can hold my finger to the screen and it will speed up the video for me automatically and make it go double speed. So that works as well. If I'm a little slow for you or something gets long-winded, I've been appreciating all the comments and feedback lately. Really do. It means a lot, guys. I love all the comments. We try to respond to any questions or whatnot, or we'll make a video response if we need to. A lot of times the video answers your question that you have in the comments. A lot of times, if you watch the whole video. But we appreciate you just clicking on, regardless. We're enjoying back filming and editing and doing this fun stuff. I enjoy showing what I do, and I really kind of look to it also as a way to go back, see what I've done, where I've come, where I've been. We got to get now that we're done with our first cut, we don't have a ton of second cut to get off, because only about 100 acres of second cut to get off, because we got so held up in the month of May we didn't get anything cut. So we're going to do some bush hogging, get our preservative kit installed on the cloths. We got a few things down the pipeline to get done. Need to do some cow videos for y'all. I can take y'all out on the boat one weekend, show y'all some of the local lake life. I enjoy, look, I'm one of those farmers that I enjoy a little bit of time when I can get it away from the farm. So far, I've only been out on the boat one time this year for a couple of hours, but I enjoy my boat. That is one thing I do enjoy. All right, let's hop out here in just a second, and I'll bring y'all in the cab with me. This thing does have a good lighting package. I've put LEDs everywhere but on the front. I have not ordered those. I ordered the LEDs that I have here on this machine and on the Massey 5711 from Lawson Lights, and they've been great to work with. I've just got to order the front ones for this one, just hadn't done it yet. So let's get y'all moved to somewhere different here. Take a quick second. For 20 years old, like I say, it's got good lighting. You've got 6 across the front there that light us up real well. And then you've got side LEDs that I put on, and a couple of back LEDs. Like I say, I want to change the fronts out to brighten it up like we got back here. But I can see pretty good out of it, I can tell you that. All right, let's climb in the cab, get some more mowing done. All right, we'll see how that mount works. It might be too jiggly. Might have to move y'all around. Put y'all like on the armrest. That's what I say so. The only downside, I've got to put a different mount in here for y'all, because let's see here. We'll watch that a second. Yep, far too jiggly. All right, let's see here. Find somewhere different. All right, maybe that's a little more secure. We shall see. Alright, we're off again. Like I say, this field here is really right at 9 acres. This is one of the very first hay fields I ever picked up. In fact, the first hay field I ever picked up. And we've had it for quite some time now. I've seen it come a long ways through the years. It's always been a good producer for us. This is bottom ground right beside a creek. It's floodplain, so it will flood out, and that can cause some debris. But you just get in and clean it up. Usually it happens in the winter. Occasionally we'll get a flood in the summer, but like I say, usually it's the winter. So these little fields like this is where this mower just absolutely shines. So for anybody that's stuck around, y'all are going to get a quick little story on how we ended up with this. So if you've been a follower of the channel or you're a new subscriber, if you go back about 3 years ago, we bought a brand new Vermeer mower conditioner center pivot mower. Very nice mower. At the time, we were looking at these mowers as well, the self-propelleds, but we felt with where our operation was that the disc mower option or the pull behind a tractor was a better option, because if something were to break or go down, and you're out of machine, you're out of mower if this were to break, if you didn't have a backup, which we have a backup option. I try my best to not use it, but we felt at the time the center pivot would be really nice, and it was to an extent, but I think the center pivot would really shine on large fields. On our small fields being so chopped up, you didn't see a huge benefit in mower time with the center pivot. So that's not the reason we got rid of it. Every year since we bought that mower, it was made during COVID. Right off the gate, the first 4 acres, we had some major issues with the mower on the cutter bar itself, of some Loctite not being put on bolts that it was supposed to have been put on for the mower. That happened within the first 4 acres. Luckily, our dealer, Comer Equipment, came out, not quickly, but they came out within a few days and fixed most of what was wrong with the mower, and had to order some parts, but kind of got us back going. Then, about 60 acres in, all the bolts on the tongue of the mower sheared off from the gearbox where it attached to the tongue of the tractor, drawbar to the tractor, actually cracking the gearbox casting that they were bolted into, because they were not torqued properly from the factory. At that point in time, I had a rep, our southeastern rep from Vermeer. I begged to get somebody to come out and our dealer finally got our rep to come out and do a ride around with me, because I wanted to make sure nobody had ever used a center pivot in our area. Most people use 3-point disc mowers. And I wanted to make sure I was using the mower properly and it wasn't me that was breaking the mower. It was not. The rep told me that they had had some quality control issues during the time of COVID when my mower was built. And he assured me that Vermeer and my dealer would take care of any problems. But the problem was the gearbox that broke was on back order, and it took from spring until fall to get my mower back, and I had to go out because they didn't give me a replacement. I had to go out and buy the chrome disc mower 3-point that we currently still have as our backup, and use that the entire first year that I bought the new Vermeer mower. That's why there's not a lot of videos with it. I was kind of asked not to say a lot at the time, so I didn't. We got our Vermeer back that fall. Oh my goodness, sorry, big bumps. It's in the smoothest field, but I was able to mow about 30 acres with it and put it away for the winter. We got it back out the following spring. We mowed about 30 acres, and the next set of gearboxes on that mower went out. Well, you got to think, guys, we were still dealing with COVID issues during that whole time. And again, they couldn't find one of those gearboxes anywhere, nowhere to be found. Turns out that was one of the last mowers that I guess Lely had built the cutter bar on before Vermeer took over manufacturing the cutter bar. And this was one of the main cutter bar gearboxes that went out. And the way it went out is a drive shaft came disconnected from the gearbox and blew it apart. Now they don't know if the bearing went out in the drive shaft or in the gearbox, caused the drive shaft to come apart and crack the gearbox. They really don't know what happened. So back to the shop she goes, and for another whole mowing season that mower was back in the shop. I didn't even get to use it at all. So that's year 2. Again, no offer of a loaner, no offer of, Brian, let's help you out on this, just we're going to warranty it even though it's out of warranty. Okay. So they fixed it again. You gotta think, totally different problem this time, guys. It's in the same problems, but it is gearbox related. And all of them so far have been gear related. From the cutter bar to the tongue breaking out of that gearbox to now the next gearbox that runs the cutter bar. So we get the mower back and I try to sell the mower with no avail. And I'm like, damn. I really didn't want to screw somebody over with it and sell them my piece of junk. But I didn't want it anymore, guys. And Vermeer was not offering any help, except we fixed it. So, didn't sell it. Pulled it out the next spring. This was last year. I mowed 10 acres. And the cutter bar and the cutter bar gearbox blew apart again. I'm like, oh man. Take it back to the dealer. I told him I'm done. I'm not making another payment on it. Y'all can figure it out. Well, Vermeer fixed it again, paid for all the parts and labor. And then my dealer and Vermeer got together. They knew at that point that I'm pretty upset. This mower's cost me hundreds of thousands of dollars in downtime of a $30,000 brand new mower that was just garbage from the get-go, lemon. And I didn't think it should be passed on to somebody else. But they bought it back from me, gave me a full refund for the mower. And that's how we ended up with this 20-year-old John Deere. And I'll say this is our second year with it. Put a bunch of blades on it. One shear hub. They're pretty easy to change. A couple tires, oil change. She's been great, guys. Just like our Crone mower, which I'm pretty sure our Crone and this Deere had the same cutter bar. Knock on wood, this Jewel doesn't give us any problems. You know, I mean, I know you're gonna have breakdowns, wear and tear. Like I say, the Deere dealership that we bought this from in PA, they completely went through the whole cutter bar on this machine before I purchased it. Replaced a couple of head sections that were bad. Forewarned me of two that we're going to need replacing within the next few years, depending on how many hours and acres I use this thing. But they were very upfront and good with pictures, great to work with. We love this thing. And it's the little fields like this one that we're on, and the one we just cut, that boy, this thing just shines. The zero turn, it's just no question. The mower deck in front of you, again, no question, I'm not straining my neck. I just look out ahead. Right now we are rolling 8.5 miles an hour across this field, which is pretty rough. The fastest I can mow this in a tractor is about 6 to 6.5. So we're cutting. Our disc mower is 9.5 foot wide. This is 14.5. The Vermeer center pivot was 11.5 or 12 foot. It's just a different animal. Totally different animal. We can cover some ground. I was so worried about how far behind we were on our first cut, and here we are. Today is, let's see if I can see this here, June 19th. Oh, happy Juneteenth, guys. Happy Juneteenth. Our county made it an official holiday. I think it's great. But yeah, we are in love with this here machine. We are almost done lickety split with this field. So as soon as I'm done with this, that's my 20 acres for night. I started at 9:30. It's now almost 11. I figure I'll be done by like 11:15. tomorrow I'm gonna go cut 15 acres. The only reason I'm not gonna cut it tonight is it's got a house on it, and I don't know if the landowners would care or not. So I'll just get up early in the morning and go cut it, 8, 9 o'clock, something like that, knock it out real quick. And we already cut 40 acres of second cut rye. We moved that, I don't know, we cut it like a month ago. Pretty sure I got a video on that. That'd be the only thing about posting kind of behind. I forget what I record for y'all sometimes. But I hope y'all don't mind too much. It makes it a lot easier for me. And it is one less stress as a farmer that I have to worry about. I can film for y'all what I want to film for y'all at my leisure. We've still got to, I got wrong part bearing on this mower here. I made the one that we got in wrong work. Was able to do a little bit of fixing on that and make it work, but we have the new correct bearing in. We need to put that in, but this one's actually been working great, no problems. So they were pretty much the same bearing. This was just a little too thick. I had to just Dremel it down, or take a little 90-degree flat disc to it real quick. Nothing to it. So it's working great. Like I say, we flipped our blades tonight. I see guys wear their blades down to nothing. I don't know. I want a nice clean cut on my grass. Now, I am a landscaper as my original background. That's what I did my whole life until we started farming in 2014. And sharp blades is key for your grass health, because otherwise you are ripping the grass. You are not cutting the grass. And so when you rip it like that from a dull blade, you open it up more for disease, things of that nature. We also mow our hay fields at a little bit higher than some. We cut at about 4 inches, and even then it could be a little low because you're cutting so much off. But the lower you cut it, you're just inviting weeds to come in. So cut it high, keep your grass nice and thick and healthy. So yeah, we treat our hay fields like a lawn. A nice, good, healthy lawn. This second cut here, it's going to be some primo. A lot of people in my area wouldn't even fuss with this. They think, oh man, there's nothing there. But for the horses and protein and even the cattle, this right here is where it's at. This is the hay you want. So we went from straight flooded out in May to now we are almost 20 days into June. We're almost 25 days now, 24 days without any significant rainfall. So we just went from one extreme, guys, to the almighty other. That's why I'm kind of also trying to get some of this second cut took care of. If I don't, it's just going to burn up to nothing. So might as well go ahead and mow what's here off. Maybe it looks like in a week or two we might get some rain. I guess 7 days. In 7 days, 7 days, they've got some 30 and 40% chance of rain, which will be like thunderstorms or something forecasted. I hope we get it. The corn patches could definitely use a drink. They're all just tasseling out, so they're at that stage where might have to stick a sprinkler in the old gardon and give the corn a little shot of water. Last little bit, we're going to call it evening. It used to be that I would be out all night cutting hay to try to have enough hay ready to bale for the next few days or whatever. Cut it at night, bale it in the day. One, you get even drying all the way across the field. When the sun comes up, this whole field starts drying. But cooler, lots of excuses to mow at night. Phone don't ring, people don't bother me. But I would mow all night long and then be just tired as hell. And I'm getting older and can't do that. And with this mower being able to cut like it does, like I said, I can average on slow rough ground 10 acres an hour, on good ground 12. Huge difference. I mean, just a huge difference. This thing does great on hills. We're on a side hill right now. It's a pretty good little slope. You'd never even know it. Just rides like a dream. I got to drive a brand new W235 today. Just for a split second, the guy wanted me to drive it, see how my thoughts on it and how it road traveled compared to mine. Horrible. It will travel faster than mine, but it was sketchy. I don't like the steering on that new thing at all. But the cab was super plush and nice. It was pretty badass. All right, road lights on, headed to the house. So I did my furthest field away first, and then now we did the one right beside the house there. Those are the two I had planned to do tonight. So, quick jip, this thing does 14 miles an hour. I think that new one he said would do like 24. I didn't get it above 20. It was just really squirrely. It has like rear assist steering. Doesn't need it. These things steer enough as it is. So. Oh. Uh-oh. That y'all stuck to the ashtray there. Hopefully that'll make a video worth of crap. Appreciate y'all watching, hanging out with me. Leave us a comment below, and we'll see y'all on the next one. Thanks, y'all.